Hello, music lovers and conversationalists. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Top 10 Tuesday video. Today's video is going to feature one of my favorite bands of all time and my favorite guitarist of all time, and that is none other than Van Halen. And I thought it would be a nice time to do a tribute to Van Halen and Eddie Van Halen. Um, it's hard to believe that we lost Eddie Van Halen 2 years ago on October 6th. I remember being at work and at my previous job, and the security guard told me that he just heard of the passing of Eddie Van Halen. And I think it was Classic Rewind, maybe, or one of the classic rock channels on Sirius XM was doing a 24-hour tribute to Van Halen upon the news of Eddie's death, and I wanted to just share with you my thoughts and my top 10 favorite songs of Van Halen. Um, Van Halen was the first band that I really fell in love with. The album right here, 1984. This is the 30th edition, well, 30th anniversary edition, I should say, of the release. And this is the first album I ever bought with my own money. I had it on cassette. Unfortunately, I don't know where it is. I've been looking high and low and have not been able to find it yet, but should I one day find that cassette, I will share it with you, and I might have to end up going to buy an actual copy of it on cassette, and I'm sure I could do that since cassettes are kind of popular now. But without any further delay, I hold here in my hands 10 songs from Van Halen. These are songs with David Lee Roth. I didn't include any from Sammy Hagar. I do not own any Van Halen albums with Sammy Hagar, and I'm not sure that I'm going to. I consider David Lee Roth as the frontman for Van Halen, and I do like some of the stuff that Van Halen did with Sammy Hagar, but overall, when it comes to Van Halen, I think David Lee Roth is the frontman for the band, and that's just my opinion. But anyways, here are the top 10 songs for this particular top 10 list, and it's my tribute to Eddie Van Halen, in my opinion, the greatest guitarist of all time and one of my favorite bands of all time. So without any further delay, coming in at number 10, this is off of their fourth studio album. It was released in April of 1981. It was considered to be one of their darker albums, and I agree with this kind of collective review from critics and fans. I think it is one of their darker albums, and it's an album that I think is one that doesn't get enough credit, or is considered, in my opinion, to be an underrated album of theirs, and it's Fair Warning. The song off of here is called Sinner's Swing. I think Sinner's Swing is a great blend, a nice bridge, if you will, to the darker side of Van Halen, and it's a nice carryover song, if you will, from what fans were treated to in their previous three releases. I think the song is a killer tune. It really takes the listener to a darker and more aggressive place in terms of Van Halen tunes and albums. Sinner's Swing is just a great song to listen to and rock out to, and that's why it's coming in at number 10. Coming in at number 9 is from Diver Down, and that album came out back in mid-April of 1982. Diver Down is not one of my more favorite albums. I do like it. There's some great tunes off of there, and they once again covered a Kinks tune, and it is Where Have All the Good Times Gone. This song I guess you could say it's kind of a party type sound for the album. Um, they're really, I think, reflecting and looking back on the early days and younger days of their life, and wondering where, as we all do, looking back, thinking, where have all the good times gone? And I think it's an appropriate song for this day and age. And I think it's a great song and really just has a lot of energy. And I think it's worthy of a top 10 list. Coming in at number 8 is another one off of Diver Down, and it's another cover, and it's one that I think is a fun song. It's an interesting song. I'm not sure why they picked this or how they came about to pick this one, but it's a Roy Rogers tune, and it is Happy Trails. Um, what I gathered from this is that it's one that they definitely had a lot of fun doing. This particular song, I think, really showcases the band's strong vocals, and really, I think it's a more of a barbershop quartet type of a song, and I kind of hear a little Beach Boy type vibes in the tune, and it's I think it's just a fun song to listen to, and one that is an interesting selection by the guys, but I thought it was appropriate to put on there to kind of add to a lighter kind of song on here than the previous selections. Coming in at number 7, this is a song that I really enjoy. I hadn't listened to it in a while, so it was kind of listening to it for the first time all over again kind of moment. And it's from the debut album Van Halen. And I think Van Halen is one of the best debut albums around. I think it's right up there with the Doors debut album, and I think it's just a killer, solid debut album. And I think the song I'm the One is a song that really showcases the talent of the band, saying, hey, this is what we are, this is what our sound is, take it or leave it. And I think having the building blocks as Eddie's slick guitar riffs and Alex's heavy drumming on this particular tune really define what the band is about, and I think it's a terrific song. And again, it's one that I'm glad that I was able to listen to a couple of different times and rediscover, since it's not been one that I've listened to in a while. Coming in at number 6 is another one off of their debut album, and it is called Atomic Punk. I guess this one is, I'd say, a song that really is an outside of the box moment for them. A lot of experimental stuff going on with the guitar on Eddie's behalf, and it's just one that I really enjoy a lot, and one that I can never get sick of listening to. And I think it's one that is, I don't know if it's underrated or not, but I think it kind of gets passed over. But I've enjoyed listening to this one again, and that's why I decided it should be on the list. Coming in at number 5, this is from Van Halen 2. It's DOA. I think it's one of their grittiest and heaviest tunes on the album, and one I think that could have fit well on Fair Warning. I do think it's kind of on the darker side. Roth is just on top of his game with several primal screams on this one, and it's definitely a signature tune. I think it's one that you can definitely say, oh yeah, that's Van Halen, and not second guess it, and just a great tune overall. Coming in at number 4, this is off of their third studio album, and again, I think it's one that is underrated, and it is a song off of Women and Children First, and it's called Take Your Whiskey Home. Um, what I like about this is we are treated to a little bit of acoustic guitar by Eddie Van Halen, and as I was listening to this tune, I thought it would be pretty cool if Van Halen, or maybe just Eddie Van Halen alone, doing a acoustic album of all the hits that Van Halen had over the years. I don't know if they did that. I don't think they did, but who knows? Maybe there's a recording hidden somewhere in the Van Halen vault that one day will be revealed, and it'll be all acoustic stuff by Eddie. I think that would be pretty cool to get an acoustic album of Van Halen tunes and give a little different spin on their many great tunes over the years, but with an acoustic vibe to it. The last three songs here, 3 and 2 especially, I was really going back and forth on as to which would be 3 and which would be 2, but off of their 1984 album, 1984, I picked Drop Dead Legs as the number 3 song. What a killer song that is. The band really sounds like they're on top of their game, really tight with this song, and just the album in general. And the video is an awesome video. I was just recently rewatching that one the other night, and just a really awesome video to watch. And I think it's one of the best songs they did, and that's why Drop Dead Legs is coming at number 3. And I mean, wow, what more can you say about that song? It's just, I think, a real classic. And unfortunately, it was not number 2. It was really close. I think number 2 is another song off of the 1984 album, and coming in at number 2 is a song that I think really highlights the album. It's a song that even to this day, when I listen to it, it just your ears perk up when you hear those intro notes from Eddie, those intro chords, if you will, and it is Top Jimmy. David Lee Roth sounds amazing on this, and it's just a stellar song. And I think if those were the two, if this song and Drop Dead Legs, I think if they were the two big hits off of 1984, I still say that 1984 would be one of the best albums of all time without having Panama or Jump, which I think are great songs, but I wanted to really challenge myself in picking 10 songs that I think were just as equally top 10 list worthy as Panama or Jump. And that's why I picked Top Jimmy and Drop Dead Legs for this top 10 list. Coming in at number 1 is from their debut album. And this song here, as well as the album, I could say would possibly be an album that could fit it into later in their catalog. It's just such an explosive album. They really sound like they're on top of their A game, and it is a song that I still get chills every time I hear it. That distant train whistle in the background, and it is Running with the Devil. I know that I guess the theme of the song, from my takeaway, is that it is the life of a rock star. It's not all as cracked up as it should be, or is, and or thought it is, and you think it would be, and it's just a killer tune. The riffs and the licks by Eddie, and again that heavy classic drumming from Alex is just it really makes this song, I think, one of the best songs of all time, and it is why it is my top 10 song and top song of all time for Van Halen, and that's why it's number 1. So there's the top 10 lists for Van Halen. That's my tribute to Eddie Van Halen. Rest in peace, Eddie. And before I go, I thought I'd take a few moments to share with you my Van Halen albums from the David Lee Roth era. This is their debut album. The front cover is in good shape, and I'll show you. Well, actually, I take that back. The front of the cover, there is some ring wear and wear and tear, if you will, on it, but I think overall it's in good shape. I kind of think that's a Jim Morrison-esque picture right there. And I'll show the album itself, which is more important. The album is very clean, and it sounds and spins great. There's no warpedness to it, and I was happy to pick that up. The next Van Halen album I have is Van Halen 2. And again, the cover is in decent shape and better than the debut album, I think. And the only complaint I have is the print on here is really tiny, but maybe that's just my eyes getting old, if you will. But again, it's not the album cover that matters, it's what's inside that counts. And I guess that goes for records as well as people, so never judge a record by its album cover, correct? And last but not least, I have two more. I have the album Women and Children First. I just picked this up the other day. This was, I'm trying to see, I believe it was a German pressing, but it's definitely a newer, more modern pressing, I believe. It's got that 180 gram feel to it, really solid vinyl, and I was just happy to get it. And last but not least, this next album is, I think, maybe their most underrated album of all time, and it is the Fair Warning album, and I do agree with the critics and music fans that, and Van Halen fans, I should say, that it's their darkest album and most aggressive, and it's one that I could, and I should say I wish that they did more of exploring their darker side. I think fans would have appreciated another Fair Warning type of an album, but I'm glad we got at least one, and it's just an excellent album overall. And again, the album that started my trip down the classic rock, hard rock road is none other than 1984, and this is definitely one that I want to take with me if I was going to be stranded on a desert island and could only take 10 albums with me. This would be at the top of the list. So thank you for watching, and rest in peace, Eddie. Thank you for all the music, and I will catch you guys later, and hope all is well, and thank you for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.